Mm-hmm. Hi, I'm Adam with my girlfriend's quilt shop, and today I want to show you how to wind a bobbin and how easy it is to wind a bobbin. But first I want to talk about what bobbins the long arms we sell use. So all of our long arms use what we call a Class M metal bobbin. So the nice thing is they come in packs like this. This is what our Handy Quilter branded bobbins. And as you'll see that they are just a metal, they're a metal bobbin, and they're nice and big, so they hold lots of thread. That's really important when you're long arming because you don't want to have to change your thread very often or change your bobbin very often. So they're nice and big and tall. But today we're going to wind a bobbin, and I'm going to show you two different ways on how to wind that bobbin today. So each of our machines come with a bobbin winder, and most of them are going to look like this, though we do have a second type as well. To get started winding, I'm just going to take my metal bobbin here, and I'm just going to place it right here on the machine and just slide it directly on. When I do that, my little autofill light is going to turn green to recognize that, hey, I've got a bobbin there and I can actually start winding, and then it will automatically stop once that bobbin is full. So I'm going to start today with my signature thread here. This is a 100% cotton 40 weight thread, so it's a really nice thread for long arming, and we do sell this brand. And I just set my spool of thread on the spool pin, and then I just go up into my thread mast here, and then I'm just going to bring my bobbin down to my little pigtail here and just kind of wrap that thread into that pigtail. What that pigtail is going to do is it's going to prevent my thread from popping out of my tension disc as I'm winding my bobbin. So I just floss like a tooth into my tension disc to make sure that my thread's all the way in, and then I just come right around here to the side, and I go from underneath and I just wrap around about 3 to 4 times. And then once I do that, I'll have a little tail here. And I don't want a super long tail, so sometimes I'll just trim that tail just a tiny little bit with my scissors so that I have just a slightly shorter tail when I wind my bobbin. And then all I do is I'm just going to press my start button here on the top of the bobbin winder while I'm holding this thread, and then I'm just going to let go and it will start winding the bobbin automatically. The nice thing is again, if you have this bobbin winder, is it does have an automatic fill, so it will automatically stop when it thinks it's full. That is done through a little laser sensor right here, a light sensor, and you can actually adjust that sensor to the left or to the right if you need to fill up your bobbin just a little bit more. And then you can see I'm just winding at kind of a slow speed, but I do have a speed adjustment if I need to. I typically wind around a 4 to a 5 when I wind my bobbins, and you'll notice it automatically stopped, and then I can just cut my thread and pull off my bobbin, and then I have a perfectly wound bobbin using my signature thread. Sometimes, however, when you are winding your bobbin, you're going to be dealing with a slicker thread. So slicker thread might be something like my 40 weight glide thread, just kind of a really fine slicker thread, and sometimes it likes to just pop out of the tension discs just a little bit, or it doesn't like to captivate at the very beginning when I wind the bobbin. So I'm still going to just put my thread on the correct way like I did before with my signature thread, still go through into that tension disc, and then I just wrap it around and still floss it up like a tooth. But if I notice it's popping out, what I can do sometimes is I can just do a complete wrap around just to make sure that it doesn't pop out of my tension disc. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just put on my bobbin again, and then on this time I'm using a slotted bobbin, and there's a little slot right here on the bobbin, and when I put it on, what I want to do is I want my thread still to go around from underneath, but I then want that thread to go through that little slot. So sometimes I might just have to pop that off just a little bit and thread my thread through that slot on the bobbin. This is going to make sure that my thread captivates, so make sure that that just goes underneath right there. And then again, I just want to trim my tail a little bit because I don't want a super long tail. And in this case, I'm just going to hit start again and just let go, and that should captivate. And that's how to wind your bobbin on a long arm.